Both Hashimoto's and hypothyroidism can cause fatigue, weight gain, and brain fog, and doctors normally treat them the same way. So how can you tell which one you actually have? In this video, I'll show you the key difference most people and even some doctors completely miss. I'm Nara, a certified holistic nutritionist and your Hashimoto's BFF, and I help women optimize their thyroid health, finally beat stubborn Hashimoto symptoms, and feel good in their bodies again. If you've ever left your doctor's office feeling confused about being diagnosed with hypothyroidism, Hashimoto's, or both, you're not alone. They're closely related, but not the same thing. And understanding the difference is one of the most important steps in actually feeling better. So today I'm going to break down what each condition actually is, starting with hypothyroidism. Let's hop in. So what exactly is hypothyroidism? In simple terms, hypothyroidism means your thyroid gland isn't producing enough thyroid hormones to keep your body functioning the way it should. Think of your thyroid as your body's thermostat. It sets the pace pretty much for everything. When that thermostat turns down too low, your entire system slows down with it. Your thyroid makes two key hormones, T4 and T3, and they influence nearly every cell in your body. These hormones regulate your metabolism, your energy levels, your mood, your digestion, your body temperature, and even how quickly your hair and nails grow. So when your thyroid isn't making enough of them, it's like your body is constantly moving in slow motion. That's why people with hypothyroidism often describe feeling like they're dragging throughout the day. You might notice that no matter how much you sleep, you still wake up tired. Your digestion slows down, leaving you bloated or constipated. Your skin feels dry, your hair starts to thin, and maybe you're gaining weight even though nothing in your diet has changed. Emotionally, you might feel foggy, heavy, or just not like yourself. And while these symptoms are frustrating, it's important to remember they're not random. They're your body's way of saying, okay, something is off with my hormone production. Now, hypothyroidism can happen for several different reasons. Sometimes it develops after thyroid surgery or radiation. Certain medications can also suppress thyroid function, and it can also come from iodine deficiency. So that's actually quite rare in most modern diets, or from problems higher up on the chain, like the pituitary gland not sending the right signals to your thyroid. Here's the key point that most people miss. Hypothyroidism describes what's happening. Your thyroid is underactive, but not why it's underactive. It's like seeing a low battery warning without knowing what's draining the battery in the first place. And here is where it gets really important for women with ongoing thyroid symptoms. In roughly 90% of cases, the reason your thyroid is underactive isn't because it's just slowed down on its own. It's because your immune system has started attacking it. And that's called Hashimoto's thyroiditis. Hashimoto's, or simply Hashimoto's disease, is an autoimmune condition. And what that means is that your immune system, the part of your body that's supposed to protect you, gets a little confused. Instead of just fighting off viruses or bacteria, it starts mistakenly attacking your own thyroid. You can think of it like friendly fire. Your immune system has good intentions, is trying to defend you, but it's aiming at the wrong target. Over time, that constant attack causes inflammation and damage inside your thyroid tissue. In the early stages, you might not feel a huge difference. Maybe you're just a little more tired than usual, your mood feels off, or you start noticing some bloating or brain fog that doesn't quite make sense. For many women, these subtle shifts get brushed off as stress or aging or PMS. But as the immune attack continues, it slowly starts to wear down on your thyroid's ability to make hormones. Eventually, your hormone levels drop, and that's when you begin to develop hypothyroidism. So, Hashimoto's causes hypothyroidism, they are not the same thing. Hypothyroidism is the result, the hormonal imbalance that happens after the thyroid has been under attack, but Hashimoto's is the cause, which is the immune system misfiring in the first place. It's the difference between treating a symptom and addressing what's creating it. And this distinction matters so much because if you only treat hypothyroidism, for example, by taking thyroid medication, you might feel a little bit better temporarily. But if the immune attack continues unchecked, your thyroid can keep getting damaged and symptoms keep flaring up. If left untreated, Hashimoto's can lead to ongoing fatigue, brain fog, weight gain, mood swings, and in some cases, long-term thyroid destruction that makes your body even more dependent on medication. That's why identifying Hashimoto's early is so important. The sooner you can calm the immune attack, the more thyroid tissue you can protect. The earlier you start addressing inflammation and supporting your immune system, the better your chances of reducing antibodies and feeling like yourself again. So, how do you actually know whether it's Hashimoto's or just hypothyroidism? It all comes down to the right lab test. And unfortunately, this is where a lot of people get missed. Most conventional doctors will check your TSH, which stands for thyroid stimulating hormone, and sometimes free T4, which is one of the main thyroid hormones your body produces. Those labs are useful. They show you how your thyroid is functioning on the surface, but they don't tell you why your thyroid might be struggling in the first place. Think of it like checking your gas gauge without ever looking under the hood. You know that you're low on fuel, but you don't know why it's running out so fast. If you really want to know whether your thyroid issue is caused by Hashimoto's, you need to go one step deeper and test for thyroid antibodies, specifically two markers. The first one is TPO antibodies, which stands for thyroid peroxidase antibodies, and then there's your TgAb antibodies, which stands for thyroid globulin antibodies. If either of these are elevated, that's a clear sign your immune system is attacking your thyroid, and that's Hashimoto's. These antibodies are your body's fingerprints, showing there's an autoimmune process happening behind the scenes. Unfortunately, a lot of women never get these tested. They go to the doctor, get diagnosed with hypothyroidism, and are immediately put on thyroid medication. And yes, that medication might help your hormone levels, but if the root cause is Hashimoto's and no one ever checks it, that immune attack continues quietly in the background. That's why so many women say, my labs look normal, but I still feel awful. It's not in your head, it's the underlying autoimmune piece that hasn't been addressed. So if you've only ever had your TSH or T4 checked, ask your doctor to run a full thyroid panel that includes TSH, free T4, and free T3, which is the active form your body actually uses, and most importantly, the TPO and your TgAb antibodies. You deserve the full picture because once you know whether your thyroid is simply underactive or under attack, you can take the right next step. Not just treating symptoms, but addressing what's really happening inside your body. And that brings us to the next part, why knowing the difference matters so much for your healing. If you're only treating hypothyroidism, for example, by taking the thyroid medication, you're simply replacing what's missing, which is your thyroid hormone. And don't get me wrong, for many women, that medication is absolutely necessary and it can be life changing. But medication alone doesn't stop the reason your thyroid became underactive in the first place, the ongoing immune attack. If you have Hashimoto's, the focus has to shift from just managing hormones to calming the immune system. That's where the true healing happens. It's about asking, why is my immune system attacking my thyroid in the first place? And then addressing the root cause one by one. For most women, the root causes include things like chronic inflammation from processed foods, poor sleep, or toxins. Then there's gut imbalances or leaky gut, which keep the immune system on constant alert. There's ongoing stress, which keeps cortisol high and your immune regulation low. And then there are nutrient deficiencies, especially vitamin D, selenium, zinc, and iron, which are all vital for immune balance and your thyroid hormone conversion. When you start supporting those deeper layers, everything begins to shift. You're not just masking symptoms, you're changing the environment your thyroid lives in. The inflammation starts to calm, your immune system stops seeing your thyroid as a threat, and over time, your energy, mood, and metabolism begin to rebuild themselves from the inside out. That's the real difference between managing hypothyroidism and healing Hashimoto's. One approach focuses on replacing hormones, while the other focuses on restoring balance so that your body can finally stop attacking itself. If you want to start actually healing instead of managing, I created a free resource for you called the Hashimoto Symptom Map. It details the most common Hashimoto symptoms to their underlying root causes so that you can start connecting the dots and truly start healing your thyroid. You can grab it using the link below. If you've only ever had your TSH tested, talk to your doctor about getting a full thyroid panel with antibody testing. Understanding what's causing your thyroid symptoms in the first place is the first step to actually supporting your thyroid, not just masking the symptoms. If this video helped you understand your thyroid better, please take a second to like and subscribe it and share with another Hashimoto's warrior who might be stuck wondering what's really going on. And before you go, don't forget to grab your free Hashimoto symptom map. It's linked below. It'll help you connect the symptoms to their root causes and get clarity on what your body actually is trying to tell you. You deserve answers and a plan that makes sense for your body. Healing is 100% possible when you have the full picture. You've got this, and I'll see you in the next one.